Hey guys, you see that? Am I pointing at it correctly? See that? You know what that is, right? That's a speed camera, right? We all know what they are. There they are, high up, visible, along the side of the road, painted in yellow. We know what they're for. They're for capturing anybody that's over speeding, and they've been around a long while. We've gotten used to them. They exist. However, have you heard of this? This is the new one. New anti-braking cameras could be rolled out across the UK. Anti-braking. What? Does that mean what I think it means? Braking? Slowing down? Is that not allowed all of a sudden? What the heck has happened? Let me explain right after this.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Right, so according to an item on GB News, it turns out that we could be getting new speed cameras. Well, they're not really speed cameras, but they're traffic detection cameras that detect harsh braking. Now, apparently these have already been trialed in Spain. And the idea is basically, so you know what happens, right? You're driving along, and either it comes up on your navigation or you're on the Waze, or you just visually see a camera up ahead, and then you suddenly hit the brakes because you're like, oh my God, am I speeding? And sometimes, to be fair, what happens is that you're not actually speeding. I've done that, where I'm not actually speeding at all, but just as an instinctive reaction to hit the brakes because you think, because sometimes you're like, has the limit changed? What's happened? Has the speed gone down? I don't know if it's the correct speed. And then you hit the brakes and you realize actually you weren't actually speeding. But if you were speeding, then obviously also then you see the thing and you hit the brakes. It's a natural, so it's an instinctive reflex action really, isn't it? So the idea with these braking cameras or anti-braking cameras is that they snap cars that brake harshly because of a camera. Wow! So there you are, you're driving along, you see the yellow camera on a stalk, you go, oh shit, you hit the brakes, and then this camera snaps you for hitting the brakes. And then you get a fine. Although I don't know on what basis. I don't get it. I don't understand on what basis they could fine you, unless there's a new law against braking, against hard braking. I don't understand. I'm not aware of any such law. In fact, don't forget that even in your driving test, you are required to do an emergency braking maneuver. And braking is fine. I don't see any braking is a good thing to do when you're driving. To be honest, the whole thing just seems ridiculous to me. Surely the reason the cameras are painted yellow, here in the UK anyway, is that they're meant to be there as a deterrent. And a deterrent to speeding, obviously. So a deterrent is meant to slow you down. So visually, that's what they're for. You see a camera, you see yellow, it reminds you that you should be adhering to the speed limits, right? And inevitably, in some cases, that means, better slow down, better hit the brakes, better slow down. So like you're doing exactly what the cameras intend you to do, unless you want to get snapped by the cameras, which of course you don't, but you're reacting in the exact way that they want you to react, and then you're being penalized because you're braking. It's just completely bonkers. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. And I don't know how you can legislate it as well either. On what basis are you going to get people? What amount of braking is illegal? Like how harsh is actually illegal? How much pressure on the pedal? How much deceleration? From what speed to zero? How will they know that this is an excessive amount of braking? What if it's a genuine emergency? What if a cat is running across the road or something, right? And you have to brake, then you get caught by the camera. Well, good luck arguing that because the camera's facing the other way. It won't see the cat, will it? Or the pedestrian. It's absolutely ridiculous, So, like most of these things, you can't help but think a little bit cynically that they're not really about making the road safer, but they're about raising money. That's what they're about. So, it would be absolutely ridiculous if they introduced anything like this in the UK. So, I would urge you to let your MPs and people know that this is a dumb idea. And I'm sure that there will be a certain community of activists that will take matters into their own hands if such cameras do suddenly start appearing. See you all in the next video, guys.
Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these three little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free. but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.